Good morning, everyone. It's not quite a sunny day outside. It's sort of very cloudy, but the sun is poking through. And I just felt like I got a nudge to do a meditation, a live tuning in for you with the essence and frequencies of the Christ consciousness beings who are with us constantly. We choose to forget our true essence, our true joy, which is the bliss and wholeness of union in God. So if you feel willing and able to join with me, that would be fantastic. I'm just going to tune in via breath, which is the way that I've been taught through the living practices in the way of mastery. Breath of life. Noticing when I'm not choosing to connect wholly with breath. My body may feel tense, my jaw may feel tight, my shoulders will be up, my back not relaxed, and allowing to fully feel what's coming through, which is the idea that we've created of a holding device called a chair. So can I truly sink into the chair and for the next however many minutes allow myself to be present to what we've called body, another creation, very beautiful creation. Resting now in the idea of body falling into or softening, weight dropping into chair, whatever it is that chooses to hold this creation of body. I have desired to be here. I have desired everything that surrounds me is within me as the one mind of God. It gets called Christ in the way of mastery. And one of the essences of Christ, one of the qualities of living breathing embodiment of Christ. So heaven comes to earth, is forgiveness. So just opening up to that word as I allow myself to sink deeply into the chair, into the body, into the ground, into the earth, into the soil of the roots of the earth, into the root of what created nature, body, consciousness. I'm choosing now to open up the book of my awareness into the book of life, the book of light that wants to embrace all creation. And if you can ever notice a sense of desire or willingness to embrace someone or something that perhaps you've been putting off, perhaps you wanted to have a clear out or a clean up, but until now you just haven't been willing to clean the corners of your mind, clean the windows so that you can look out from the inside and see clearly through them to the outside world, which is still me. Yeshua constantly says in the Way of Mastery, now is the ripe time. Now and here are two keys to our living, breathing reality as we channel life force energy into body mind, and we become aware that I am the one creating all of this experience. I've chosen through my power as Christ, as a living embodiment or channel for God, to create this experience of creation. And we do love our creations. We love what we've created from the very depth of a place that many often would define as like a parent type quality. So like how a mother or a father would feel towards their child. And the children who we choose not to love are still the ones who are us. So just, you could also take it from the other perspective that I am a child of God. I am also a parent of God in a sense, because I look after that part of myself from God that I choose to create from. So I'm just observing it. I'm noticing it in exactly the same way that God is watching and observing us, in joy and peace and union and abundance. So as you decide here to join with me, if you're watching this video now or later, really all we're asked to do is be willing to be with whatever arises in our attention, because it's our lack of consciousness about what we're desiring truly that is arising in consciousness. So we may be desiring something that mind is telling us that we don't desire. Like, for example, feeling like perhaps I'm lacking money to do the things that I enjoy doing. I don't have enough money to pay for my child's activities and education. That's a thought of lack. And what is underneath that is a desire to experience loss of union with God. I must be separate from God if I'm not able to bestow abundance on myself and everyone and everything. So I've chosen from the very depth of my being to have an experience of loss and lack and what has been called separation. It feels like a separation because it feels like something is so far away from me. But really, all that's happening is that I'm choosing to look at myself from the eyes of the body and say different bodies are not me, and separate objects that appear to be separate, are also not me. I've desired it because I have the choice to desire it. And in that seed of desire is infinite potential, the same as the infinite potential of love and what created us. So the two opposites, the lack of abundance and the fear of loss, and the loss that we think that we embody here on planet Earth, is the same as no lack, no loss, abundance, joy, and union. It's the same. How is it the same? It's the same because what creates it is always the same. It never deviates. It never changes. And this is our eternal truth. So we may think from the depth of the mind, that can't be me, because I would not choose to be in fear and loss. I would not choose for myself to be in lack without enough money to pay for the things that make life worth living. So that therefore must not be me. And this is how we choose to continue with our idea that we are separate from our source. Can I choose now again to look at things differently? Can I choose to see that what is arising as a manifestation in creation, that I make a judgment of and I say that I don't like, is only a result, an effect of what I've desired. It's only something that comes because I have believed it to be the truth. That's the only reason it comes. No other reason. So if I can be with what is the actual truth, that is, in reality, I am as I was created to be. I'm truly in abundance, peace, joy, bliss that comes from choosing union. If that is true, can I surrender my need to believe that I'm living in lack and I'm not able to provide for myself? Can I forgive my choices from the past and now decide to open the door and clear out the basement, however you choose to see purification and allowance? Now I choose to see things differently. I choose to see from what I'm wholly given already, before I even have a thought that I might be in lack. I might be separate from what actually gives me this life. Before those thoughts is reality. And when we choose to be relaxed through breath, which is also a great eye-opening and mind flexibility bending truth to witness in yourself, when we choose from the depth of our being to let go of all our beliefs about who we think we are. A new identity of wholeness and light can start to penetrate that false identity, that false sense of a limited, small me. So paying attention back to the body mind again, because it's like a loop that goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And as you're connecting with it, the vacillations, the up and down there, slowly comes into being one thing. It joins, and that allows for greater light and greater depth of you to be seen and penetrated and opened. You may notice that with forgiveness, allowance, and surrender, there is a quality to it that is opening up like some kind of sexual opening, like a flower, like something that wants to completely release all ideas of what it's not by witnessing and opening to all possibilities. So we're choosing to connect to our innocence. This is a very fearful topic for some people. I can't possibly be innocent if I'm a sexual person and I desire to have it. Can I choose to look at that again differently? There are layers and layers of guilt, hatred, suppressed anger and resentment, and suppressed joy tied up with our sexuality. God is everything, and God created everything. Everything that you can think, everything that you can do, everything that you can be. You would not be alive if you did not have that same desire to create. And where does God have that desire for creation? It has a desire for union in that. Union, oneness, wholeness is the ability to allow two to become one. That's not just sexuality in the body. That is a sense of sexuality in all things. So all things are relationship, one thing to another. And when you allow them to join, when you let two become one, you are in a state of forgiveness and atonement. You balance by allowing things to be attracted to each other in a loving state of wanting, desiring to join and be together. So just now, being aware of your breathing. Now we've mentioned the word sex and sexuality. True forgiveness, the kind of forgiveness that Yeshua embodied when he was here on planet Earth, is a state of peace that is literally like a tube, a channel that's allowing everything. It's allowing your beliefs. It's allowing absolutely everything, because God is absolute and God does allow all things. Can you just be in prayer to God now and just relax into the lower belly and just gently let your attention slip to 2 inches above the pelvic bone, so 2 inches above the genitals, around about just below the navel. There is a point there that's really, really worth paying attention to. It's an energy center. When you choose to breathe into that point, you are choosing to awaken the body, the cells of the body, to who you really are, to your soul in union with God. So when we're choosing breath, we're choosing the atonement. We're literally choosing to align ourselves to what is. Nothing more, nothing less, just what is right now, here. And you might notice that as you do that, the mind kicks in, giving you all kinds of reasons not to do that. So am I willing to forgive and let go of that mind that's like a child having a tantrum, and looks at you for attention? You can look at that child, give it attention, but you don't have to feed it. You don't have to go down that road of choosing to be that child, protesting and angry and or distracted, distant, wandering, lost, dreaming. All these states that happen when we're in meditation, all of them are the result of choosing the opposite of heaven, the kingdom, or as Yeshua would call it, Shemaya. Shemaya, light, life force energy, love that wants to let you be how you are, and also has this quality of lifting you out of your ideas, beliefs, and perceptions that you've placed on everything. And when you decide with the whole of your being that that is worth more to you than anything else the world could ever give you, when you surrender the world like that, you are in a state of forgiveness. You're in a state of allowing everything right now to be exactly how it is, no matter what it is. And isn't that choice for wholeness and for the depth of my being, which I don't actually know what that is? Isn't that choice something worth being grateful for? Something that's going to allow me to actually be in the land of the living instead of in the land of death and dying and temporary and disturbance and fear and pain and hatred and all the other frequencies that we've previously decided to hold on to. Now, from the very depth of my being, I've learnt that these tastes, these experiences that I've wanted, they've served their purpose and now they're complete and I don't need them anymore. I'm whole exactly as I am right now. When I choose that, something happens. Something beautiful, holy, sacred, and joyous happens. I become one with everything. I embrace everything. I've allowed it to be neutral, to be how it is. I haven't put weight on it. I haven't said what it is. I haven't given it meaning or value to me, a personality, a persona that doesn't really exist, just exists in a tiny bit of me that I've chosen for. Now I'm choosing in this moment to let it go. So breathing back in the dantian, which is an energy point just below the navel. You can even put your fingers there and press into it to feel the quality of it. It's like a feeding center. It's where I'm choosing to be fed. And when I'm choosing to be fed there, and I'm allowing the light to touch the root chakra and the sacral chakra, and I allow that, that also is an undoing of judgment about joining and sexuality and release. The anus, the rectum, the digestive system, all of that is affected by whether I choose for my peace or not. So those areas where we clear what's already been, these areas are particularly hated by the ego and seen as poisonous. We store a lot of hatred in that area of the body and we disconnect and separate from it. So forgiveness is a way to allow our judgments to let go of them and to look at the reality that real purification is to be okay with everything, just as it is. Purification is not cleaning off the dirt of the body. The body may well be dirty and we may have some judgment of that. When we allow ourselves to be humble to what wants to kiss, caress, hold, lift, join, penetrate, immerse, what wants to wholly let us be exactly as we are created to be. When we choose for that, a sense of peace that cannot almost be talked about or spoken of comes in and restores our sense of being to greater wholeness, greater knowledge, wisdom, and connection once more to our true self, our soul. It's not that we're not our soul. When we choose to experience these things, we're just deciding to put obstacles in the way of seeing that. So forgiveness is the choice to relinquish all my ideas of myself, all my veils, all my filters, all my decisions to argue with how things are right now. Now, a thought has just popped into my head, and you may have this thought too, that well, if something arises in my attention for my forgiveness, for my allowance, and it's something that is very challenging for me, supposing, for example, what we consider as something bad happened to the body. Maybe there's pain, or there's illness, or there's a continual pain from arguing with a partner. There's a sense of separation, deep, deep rift of separation that comes into your awareness. How truly can I be with that without my need to hide, argue the point, walk away, choose not to love, choose not to breathe, be angry and feel like being violent maybe? How can I be with these things that come into my awareness, these pains, this anguish, how can I be with it and truly choose to love it and return it to God, because it's God's, it's not mine. So I invite you to breathe and just look at this question, because many things, as the world changes and raises its frequency to a higher state of consciousness, a greater sphere of wisdom, during this process that Yeshua has called the Atonement, it's a balancing, it's a turning to face these things that we've judged and seeing that actually I've chosen that, and that's what's made it become something powerful to me. I can release that power. That power is like a pressure cooker. it builds up and up and up, and it's something's got to release. What releases is seeing the root of the power, that it actually comes from me, my choosing. I'm choosing. I'm the one in charge of this mind. It's been given to me. It's been wholly given to me, freely given. It's a choice. Can I allow myself to just look at the fact that I am wholly responsible for this beautiful creation? Just look at it. I'm responsible for all my creations. And that responsibility is not a burden when I know that I can choose for reality. I can choose for the good, the holy, and the beautiful through my willingness to surrender who I think I am. The moment we see we're the ones that with the power to choose, the moment the cork is popped and there's a release, there's a breathing, there's a relaxation and a peace of that's okay. It's okay that I've just had this argument and I felt like punching someone. It's okay that I can't show someone how I truly feel. I can't explain myself. I feel misunderstood. I feel triggered by it. I want them to know who I am. I want them to know that my choice is the right choice and they should choose what I choose. That's a judgment. Can I allow the light of Shem to embrace the other and me? Can I just allow it to tickle the surface of things so that I can have a little chuckle to myself and say, oh, look, I got really serious about that thing there that's coming up for my attention. And I got so serious about it that I got locked in to a sense of myself. And when I got locked into that sense of myself, then I chose to operate from there. Kind of like choosing to stay in second gear when it calls for a motorway. You need to go faster and the car is screaming at you to change gear, but you've instead decided to stay in that limitation. Yeah. So we're all doing that sometimes, deciding to stay in our limited small self. When we know that what is called for is a greater expansion, a greater change is being asked of us now for growth, for our wholeness, for our life to really start to happen. Just rest in gratitude for all that is come through now. Through me, I'm a channel for God, for the Christ beings, for light language and many, many things I'm a channel for. I open myself up to receive, and by choosing to receive it, everyone and the whole of creation receives. So we can be in gratitude and constant praise of that we, as we awaken together and not as separate beings. Yeah. So thank you for joining or choosing to join later with me. And over and out. Thank you.